Thank you. Thank you, Alistair, Claire, Corey. We will now Andrew, welcome. Anyone else coming up?
Yeah.
No?
Good afternoon.
Yep.
This report recommends that you adopt the proposals for the amendments. Andrew, Mike. That you consulted on as part of the annual plan. A number of minor changes to fees and charges. Most of our fees and charges and rates just moving by inflation. These are the ones that we're required to consult on, just a few of them. The proposals were mainly to move those fees or rates up to recover the costs from the users of the services rather than from general ratepayers. In addition, it included some proposed changes to the rating of religious properties. We have a minor technical adjustment to recommend to Resolution D. And we're also asking that to implement the proposal you consulted on to change the rating of religious properties, that you adopt changes to the revenue and financing policy and to the rates remission and postponement policy that are required to implement your decisions. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Mr. Walker.
So just on the Waitakere rural sewage pump out service, I have raised the issue about some flexibility in that, so that if somebody was not interested in a pump out and there was a better outcome, which for example might be the installation of a biofilter, that they could have the option of that. And that might be cheaper and may well be better, particularly over time, than just some interim arrangement.
Andrew.
Check that out, Andrew.
So the proposal today is to keep the pump out scheme, and we'll be coming back with a future report about the future options for how we would modify the pump out scheme in both the area of service and what additional services that could be taken on.
One other question, Mr. Chair, and it's just on the food scraps targeted rate. I'm making the assumption that there is no opt-out for that if somebody's got their own worm bin or the like. It's a rate that's applied entirely across the targeted area.
Andrew, again.
It'll be the 2,000 properties in the trial area, and consistent with your decision for Papakura, the rate won't be able to be opted out of.
Okay. All right, well, yes, Councillor Darby.
Just a small acknowledgement. I want to acknowledge the staff for that important modification, because the difference was that we'd have places of worship like rented commercial spaces where you might find a Sikh temple or a mosque, where they were commercial, rented, not owned. They wouldn't have qualified necessarily. So thanks for recognising our need to be inclusive.
Thank you for pointing that out to Councillor Darby, who spotted that as well. Thank you.
Councillor Hills.
Thank you, Chair. And sorry, Parul, I know you're back there, but it's just a question, just to clarify again, on B, on the food scraps targeted rate, myself and Councillor Darby were told there was two options: either cancel the trial and wait until North Shore was brought in, or keep it going but charge the residents. But what the local boards were told, they had three options, and one of those options included continuing the trial for free of some other budgets. I just want to make sure that that was a mistake, or that wasn't possible, because the local boards still feel they had that option when we were told that was not an option.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the report that went to the local boards did look at the three options, and it actually had the pros and cons against them in terms of equity as well, given that Papakura has started and they are paying a targeted rate for it, and the properties over the North Shore have had the trial for a long term in terms of being free. So I think the levy money was funding it because it was a trial, but at that point it was to see what that money can do in terms of wider reach for the rest of the region. And in terms of equity, it made more sense to look at the two options being either we stop the service now or we charge the targeted rate on it going forward.
Okay. Right, well, once again, I'm willing to move this, and I believe Councillor Cashmore is seconding, yes. Any debate? No? Right, I'm going to put those. All those in favour? Aye, and against? Okay. So you've noted, okay, and that's just against certain items? Yes, okay, that's right. All good. Right, thank you, everyone. There is no extraordinary items to consider, but before we just do a little bit of a shuffle round, I just want to pass on my my thanks to the finance team. Full stop. Some people say, why don't I have someone helping me? And I just say, well, I've got a great finance team helping me, and I don't think I really need anyone else in the middle. So thank you to all and sundry associated. Thank you.
I absolutely support you on that. These guys are absolute, I'm just trying to use the appropriate words. They're very clever and they do a great job. So I totally support you on that. Thank you very much. What a shame that we didn't stick it in as a resolution.
Well, it's been declared in
Too
public.
late?
Cameras,
Is it too late?
everything.
I would like to put a vote of thanks then for our finance staff for the work that they've done in supporting, and
Okay.
well, you can thank your own staff.
I'll
Your worship, but-
move that and you second it, Councillor.
All right.
Okay, we got that?
Sorry.
And all those in favour? Yes, right. Thank you.
Right, we get straight into
Yes.
the information.
Sandra will come and